Whistler Hulk Hogan. There will be one Wisconsin connection on stage this evening. Diane Hendricks, a Wisconsin native described by the campaign as a, quote, everyday American. UFC CEO Dana White will be the final speaker before Donald Trump takes the stage late this evening. On the floor at Fiserv Forum, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
While pressure's growing on President Biden to step aside and let someone else run for president, that pressure is said to be coming from high-ranking Democrats Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. Even former President Obama has expressed some reservations. If he were to quit the race, who would replace Biden, and how does that work? Jaime Moore is the former director of the office of the DNC chair.
You got to quickly decide what happens with the nomination, who becomes the nominee. The vice president is clearly leading the pack, and she's clearly qualified for that. Secondly, you got to figure out what happens with the money. How does the Biden Victory Fund, how does the DNC, how do those entities transfer the fund in a legal way to make sure that the party and the campaign have enough funds to continue? And then next, the delegates. You got to figure out how does Joe Biden release his delegates and so they can go on and support whomever the nominee is. And then lastly, how do you make sure that you are bringing voters along this process and try to make it as democratic as possible?
New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez rejecting a report that says he'll resign following his conviction on federal corruption charges. Sources tell NBC News Menendez told close allies he plans on stepping down, but Menendez tells CBS 2 he has not spoken with any so-called allies and that it seems to him there's an effort to try to force him into some kind of a statement. President Biden announcing another round of student debt forgiveness. This time around, it's $1.2 billion in relief for public sector workers, teachers, nurses, and firefighters. Borrowers can qualify through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Meantime, Republicans leading legal challenges to the administration's earlier debt forgiveness efforts. More Americans than expected seeking unemployment benefits. The Labor Department says it received 243,000 initial requests for the week ending July 13th. That's up from the previous week's revised total of 223,000 and more than the 229,000 most analysts were expecting today. At Convention Fest in downtown Milwaukee, one business is turning heads. Bobbleheads, that is.
Madan Raj is the owner of Bobbletopia, a Milwaukee-based bobblehead business. He tells WTMJ.
Not surprisingly, our Trump bobbleheads are selling pretty well. People walk by and invariably I see them smiling or laughing.
Raj says that while they've curated their lineup for the RNC crowd, they make bobbleheads across the political spectrum.
We do sell Joe Biden bobbleheads, we sell Kamala Harris bobbleheads, and we sell bobbleheads of past presidents like JFK.
At Convention Fest, Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Time for some news about your money at the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It has been an ugly day on Wall Street. The Dow down 381 points this hour. The S&P 500 down 37. The NASDAQ Composite is down 144. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 105.
When you want the best medical attention, you don't just go to anybody, you go to a specialist. The same should be true with your car or truck. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. When your vehicle needs service, take it to a specialist, an Adam member new car dealer. Adam dealers use factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians specially trained on the advanced technology on your vehicle. They have all the latest manufacturer service bulletins and will know if your issue is covered by an existing warranty or if there are any recalls. And despite what you might assume, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine maintenance and tires. Now, knowing all that, why would you even consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
For great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Have wind, cold, or water breached? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water challenging your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When weather's offense beats your home's defense, contact Siding Unlimited. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the breach, put Siding Unlimited in. Their good work is on display at their unique outside-in showroom. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. The largest vacation sale in the nation is happening right now. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. Select from top resorts at favorite destinations in Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights to get you there fast. Let Fox World Travel book your best price guarantee vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. You can also book your trip online. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exteriors' expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It's Brewers at Twins Saturday night, and the Bucks play the Suns tomorrow afternoon in the NBA Summer League. The Bucks' Chris Middleton had procedures done on both ankles this offseason, reportedly related to injuries he suffered throughout the season and were considered cleanups. Three-time All-Star is expected to be ready for the start of the regular season. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. We have a new crash to report the exit to Ryan Road from I-41-94 South. Might be some delays in that area. Also delays kind of starting to stack up in the construction zones. I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown and I-894 westbound on the Mitchell Interchange to the Hale Interchange.
If we can move the chair like
your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny today, some afternoon clouds with a high of 76. Clear and cool tonight, a low 61. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 80. Partly cloudy and warmer on Saturday with a high of 83. Partly cloudy Sunday. Humidity up will be a little bit. Slight chance of a shower. A high of 81. Monday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower and a high of 82. Madison 74. Green Bay 74. Milwaukee 71 degrees. I'm Connie Weber. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 110.
Here we go.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena, inside the RNC. WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. This is Spanning the State. Here are your hosts, Brian Noonan and Kristen Bry.
Good afternoon. We are here for one final day. It's the final countdown, they might say, Brian.
It would be correct because it seems like as much work and as much time as it's taken, it's gone pretty fast, and now today is it.
What's your energy levels today?
Over 50%, not a lot. I'm still majority powered up, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay. Have you made a decision if you're going to stay until the very end tonight to hear Donald Trump speak?
I don't know, because here's the thing. At home, if I'm watching the speech, I can run to the bathroom.
That's a good point.
It gets tonight in Fiserv is going to be, rightfully so, a zoo. It's going to be packed to the gills.
Yes.
I don't do very well in packed houses.
Okay.
So I still haven't decided, though.
I have a 10-minute commute home.
Yes, I have about an hour and 30.
Yes, my commute is a little easier for me to stay home and then go home.
Plus, somebody I know is not going to be in tomorrow, and I have to work by myself, so I got to be in there. There's a lot going on.
That's true. You are carrying the load for us tomorrow, but which I appreciate.
Yes. Well, no, it's going to be today's going to be exciting. I have one goal. I don't want to speak it out loud and jinx it, but I have one goal for today.
Okay.
So,
are you for the show or for the day?
Well, it's for the show primarily. If not,
I'll have to bump it down. After 3, the goal will remain the same.
Will you tell us at the end of the show, or are you just teasing everyone?
No, I'll tell you. If it doesn't happen during the show, I will tell you at the end of the show.
All right.
What do we got today?
What do we got today? So we are going to be talking to David Crowley, Milwaukee County Executive, Peggy Williams-Smith, President CEO of Visit Milwaukee. I feel like the theme of today is like, how did it go?
Right. And how did it affect the city? And what are you hearing?
And I think
What's the feedback?
Exactly. And especially, and then actually Barry Burden, Professor of Political Science at UW-Madison and founding director of the Elections Research Center. Because I think a lot of this is like, it's one thing of how does it affect the city financially, but also how does this impact that thing that we have this fall called an election?
Exactly. Well, let's talk to the woman who put this all together. She was in charge of getting everything set for the Republican National Convention.
Yes, so when we come back from this, Allison Prangy is going to be here. She is the COO of the nonpartisan Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee, so we're going to get her impression, and if she has one word to describe how she's feeling right now, maybe she'll have it for us. This is Spanning the State. We'll be right back.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
It is Spanning the State live from the Media Row in the UW Panther Arena at the Republican National Convention. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And today we're trying to do our recaps. How did the week go? Talk to people who have been heavily involved since the very beginning. And no better person to start with than Allison Prangy, who is the CEO of the Milwaukee 2024 Host Committee. Allison, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I guess my first question, hopefully is an easy one. What is your overwhelming, if you have one feeling to say of how you're feeling today at almost the end of the week, what is it?
Not exhaustion.
Not exhaustion, okay.
Just, I'm proud. I'm proud of our city, proud of Milwaukee, proud of what everybody that has worked on this for so long, whether it's the host committee team, the RNC's committee on arrangements, everybody, the work you can see that we've done come to fruition is awesome.
Well, I'm sure during all that hard work there were hurdles and stumbles. Was there one that you approached and you went, once we get over this one, it's going to be smooth sailing, only to get to the other side and go, no, the sailing isn't always smooth?
There's always things that change, and you can see from everything going on around Milwaukee, it's a fluid situation because there's so many people involved. You've got motorcades, you've got a lot of, our elected leaders in the country are here, our local leaders are here, and you just have to be ready. And I think that's the thing. Our teams have been flexible. We've been able to react if we need to react, and most of the time proactively.
What has been the hardest thing, I don't know, to pull off, or like the like, oh, pushing yourselves as far as like when it was first pitched of an idea, and they're like, that's too big, that's too much. And is there anything that was pitched that you're like, all right, we pulled it off?
Well, the welcome party that we threw on Sunday night.
We interviewed David Caruso,
It was amazing. We had a great local team with David Caruso, Magic Productions, Mike Durkin, our team. We were national music acts. The showcase of Milwaukee foods, that was huge. It's a huge party. We have a small team. We have, like this week, it's like 45 people working on our team, but to pull off a party for 15,000. We had Summerfest that we partnered with, Sarah Pancari Smith. I mean, amazing teamwork that has come together. And like, go back to that word pride.
Yeah.
Everybody that has stepped forward in Milwaukee, from volunteers to those kinds of events, they've been there and they've had our back, because it's so important to make this successful for our city.
Speaking of pride, when you watch the coverage, when you listen to the radio, what is your overall take on how the media is showcasing not only the convention, but Milwaukee as a whole?
I have a confession. I've been so busy.
I thought that you might answer that and say that, because I was like, she probably doesn't have a lot of time to be reading the news this week.
I look at the headlines. No, I will flip through. I look at your website. I look at just a quick see.
Yeah.
But what I've heard overwhelmingly is that, because people from around the country are texting, which is super fun, and they're saying, oh my gosh, Milwaukee. Yeah. Like, they haven't been here, maybe, that I know, people that I know, because I originally am from Miami. I confess I'm a Wisconsinite. I've lived here for 20 years. I'm a Badger. But people are, I think, surprised at the Midwest. And I had somebody show me a text yesterday, and I think I'm allowed to say this. Tucker Carlson texted Ted Kellner and said, why do people go to Chicago? You just come to Milwaukee. And that's awesome. And
why didn't you tweet it so we could all share it?
That might come still, but I'm breaking that news here.
There you go.
I think
that's great.
That's a fun. When I saw that, that's exactly what we hoped when we started this.
Well, I spoke to a delegate from Alabama yesterday, just piggybacking on that, and he said, we are having such a great time in Milwaukee, because a lot of times we'll go somewhere and when people find out we're from Alabama, they treat us differently. But everybody in Milwaukee has been fantastic.
Hey, we live here. We think it. We know it. I love hearing that, because that was our goal. Again, we wanted people to come here to want to come back. We've talked a lot about that with MMAC, with Visit Milwaukee. John Schlifsky's on our board. Like, making this a place for people to know not only that it's a great vacation spot, because it is, but it's a place that you want to work, think about moving your company to, and have fun at, and go to school.
Yeah, and go to school. And one of the things you just said that I want to follow up on, because part of the reason that this has been a success, and I think so far, barring anything crazy happening tonight, it's been a success in a lot of ways. How do you package the fact that there was so much collaboration and coordination? Because not every city, I imagine, where it's the Summerfest grounds and Visit Milwaukee and MMAC and the host committee, and there's a lot of different,
and the Brewers,
and the Bucks, and I don't want to. There's different
it's everywhere
parties. Teams needing to be able to collaborate and coordinate together. And I feel like that is a selling point when we talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend or other things that could come to Milwaukee, that we can say it will run smoothly and we can point to this. Is there a way to package that?
Yes. I mean, I think there is. I think that is the next point. And I think one of the things in the back of my mind has been that, and I was talking to Peggy about it, because there was an article I didn't like when they didn't win that this year. And I thought it was unfair, because I know this city. And it has really been fun to try to, I love putting pieces together and having the chance to have all of these groups work together. And everyone, again, I could go back to it, has had our back. And Marty Brooks has been amazing. When you look across the business community, it's not partisanship, it's about the city. And it's about making sure that people here, the RNC, it is green. I mean, the mayor says it's right, but it's green and it's about the future. And I think we've talked about that a lot. I was out talking to some businesses yesterday about how things were going. I cleaned out all the cupcakes at one of the bakeries in the public market, because it was my birthday, but I was I don't do anything. Usually I bring things to my office. And I'm like, I got to do something. So I hauled cupcakes in from the public market to the Fiserv Forum last night. And I was it's just fun, because there was an energy in there, and it was good to see. And it's not like it's hard that the conventions like this are in town. Downtown's empty of a lot of people that work here that normally get their coffee, and so you want to make sure people know we care, and that this is also not just this week, it's a long game.
Allison Pranke is our guest. She's the COO of the Milwaukee 2024 host committee. Now, you have a background in not only for-profit, but non-profit. You've put on all kinds of events. Where does this stack in your pantheon of career?
We've talked about that. I started on Capitol Hill, which is funny to think so long ago, and now be in the middle of this. This is the biggest thing I've ever had the opportunity to work on. I feel very fortunate to have had that opportunity to do it. And, I mean, it's amazing. And so, again, it goes back to, like, pride in our team, pride in the people that I work with, that we work with in our city. And it is the biggest thing I've had a chance to do. And hoping tonight goes great. And I hope that the RNC is happy when they leave and feel great going out of here.
Do you have any thoughts on what you're going to work on next?
I don't. I have not. I'm excited to read the paper tomorrow because I have not. I love to read the paper. I like to listen to the news. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm excited to find the next opportunity.
Good. Well, we're excited.
Nice.
We're very. This has been great. I know we've enjoyed ourselves. Everything seems, at least from our vantage point, has been very smooth. So congratulations.
Thank you for saying that. I just appreciate it, and I know we'll look forward to talking to you after it's over to give you an after action report if you want.
Absolutely.
Although we're done today, we still have to put. Somebody asked, well, what are you going to do? All of this. The Fiserv Forum, everything has to go back into place.
Yes.
We've got a Bucks National Championship. We got the NBA World Championship to win. Maybe a World Series. We got a lot of things ahead in Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again, Allison.
Thank you.
Allison, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Allison Prangy is the COO of the 2024 host committee, and this is Spanning the State.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can't last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you have over 20 HVAC techs working with you that each have over 20 years of experience, it gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
It's not a hidden fee, it's a surprise fee. Surprise!
Like they're just making things harder.
That's not my department. I got a transfer.
Or like they don't even know you?
That sounds like a you problem.
At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, we've got local experts ready to lend a hand.
Wintrust.
Start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bullyfree. Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
just got it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was just going to say, I got another scavenger hunt.
How's the scavenger hunt going, by the way?
Scavenger hunt's going great.
I saw you posted a very special point total that you've reached. A sort of not a plateau, but one tier.
One tier. So there is Milwaukee Record. We've talked to Matt Wild from Milwaukee Record before. They sell they sell a shirt that has the clock tower, the famous clock tower in Milwaukee, that the temperature is 69 degrees.
Okay.
And so the shirt is of the clock tower. It says it's 69 degrees, and then just on the side it says nice. And so when I hit 69 points last night, in honor of that, I posted that that image. But I have actually, technically, of what's been posted to social media, I have hit 100 points.
Nice.
But that doesn't even include everything that I still need to post. So
and it goes through when? The end of the night?
What I can capture goes through the end of the night. I'll probably, since I won't be here tomorrow, and my day off, I will be posting probably more stuff on social media. But what right when we were at break, because I didn't have Wisconsin news folks as a point category.
Okay.
Largely because I felt like, well, and also I tried to keep it to people that are in town.
Yeah, that you wouldn't run into.
But then I also had Wisconsin politicians, and our guest after the news is going to be David Crowley, and so he's also usually in town. So I maybe should have had points for local news folks. But I saw Charles Benson yesterday, Sam Kramer from Fox 6, and literally while we were at break, longtime anchor Ted Perry came over specifically just to say, I want to be part of the scavenger hunt. So we got our selfie just now, and then he said, you can give me negative points.
Very nice. Did you see anything else odd yesterday? Or not odd, I shouldn't say odd, unusual. That's a better adjective.
Well, we're going to talk about it later. I did get a chance to have a conversation with...
I know you went on a little window shopping spree.
Yes, so there was... we're going to talk about the things you can buy here right now. And I'm trying to gauge... I need to talk to more people who've been to conventions of the past to see all of the vendor merchandise that is here. Is that more of a specific to Trump and Trumpism and MAGA culture, or is a convention and there's always people there selling wares of some sort? Because obviously, like, DNC, RNC, whatever, you need food inside, so having some food makes sense. But some of the T-shirts and the jewelry and the book signings and all of those types of vendors, is that normal political convention?
It would be. I've never been to one, but I would be interested. I would be interested to hear. The most unusual thing I saw yesterday, and I got a picture of it, was Lee Greenwood signing Bibles, because he, of course, was. I was going to say co-author, but I don't think he and Donald Trump wrote the Bible. I think they just put this one together, and there's some extra things added to it. But Lee was over there signing Bibles, so that was unusual for me. We will talk about all kinds of things that we've seen and done here at the convention, and talk to David Crowley after ABC News and local headlines on Spanning the State.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Donald Trump is just hours away from accepting the GOP nomination. He'll deliver his first speech since the assassination attempt at a rally last weekend. President Biden's campaign on pause due to COVID, and calls still growing for him to step aside as the nominee. The White House says he's still being briefed by senior officials, including national security matters, as he isolates at his home in Delaware.
National Security spokesman John Kirby couldn't give an update on the president's health, but said the president is certainly focused on getting better. The president tested positive for COVID on Wednesday while traveling in Nevada. The White House said he was experiencing mild symptoms, runny nose, cough, and general malaise. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Vice President Kamala Harris is campaigning in Fayetteville, North Carolina today. Residents from the South all the way to New England are cleaning up after volatile storms hit last night, bringing flooding and wind damage. This is ABC News.
Signing unlimited WTMJ News Time 1:31. Final day of the convention, and Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says the city has shown its ability to handle major events.
It's been a pretty remarkable week, and I think it's fair to say that Milwaukee has shown our visitors that the city is full of great assets and also great people.
Of the tens of thousands of foreign journalists in Milwaukee covering the convention, several representatives of fellow NATO member countries. Reporter Kjetil Hansen from Norway's Aftenposten tells WTMJ as a U.S. ally, Norwegians are very interested in how the next president will handle foreign policy.
As a NATO ally, we are interested in this administration and the next possible administrations, how they view the NATO membership and what they do concerning Ukraine, obviously.
Police in Sheboygan say a body was recovered this morning from Lake Michigan near the Blue Harbor Resort on the lakefront. A passerby noticed an unresponsive surfer in the lake that performed CPR until officers and fire personnel arrived. Surfer, identified as a 52-year-old man from Wrightstown, foul play, is not suspected. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow continues to fall, down 468 points right now at 40,729. S&P 500 is down 47 at 5,540. And the NASDAQ Composite is off 165 points, 17,831. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. No major problems to report this hour, just some minor delays. I-894 westbound, the Mitchell interchange to the Hale interchange. And, of course, restrictions in and around downtown. Expect those restrictions for the next couple of days as everything gets dismantled after the RNC. Give yourself a little extra time if you are headed downtown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. It's going to be clear and cool overnight tonight with a low of 61, sunny and 80 tomorrow. A little bit warmer on Saturday, partly cloudy with a high of 83. Sunday and Monday, we have a slight chance of showers both days, partly cloudy both days. High Sunday 81, Monday 82. Madison right now 74, Green Bay 74, and Milwaukee 71 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 1:33.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com. The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com.
It's spanning the state, our final day at the Republican National Convention. We are on Media Row in the UW Panther Arena, watching the world go by. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. Indeed, they're doing their dress rehearsal, it looks like, for tonight's big show. As far as we said before, the scoreboard in UWM Panther Arena is airing everything that's happening in Fiserv.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to spoil anything, but certainly
you will be
I will say
impressed.
this. There will be a light show.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
This is not some tent revival that you're going to be going to see tonight.
No.
This is high budget, high production value convention, and it's not going to. If you are a Republican, you will definitely not be disappointed. If you are a Democrat, you'll watch and you'll say, "Wow, they put a lot into this show."
Yeah, I would say that was. I got home last night before Frankie went to bed, so I saw a lot of the speeches even before J.D. Vance spoke from home, and including the families of the Afghanistan veterans who died. And regardless of politics, I would say the programming was very powerful last night.
Right. Yeah, the World War II vet, and there was, there's a lot of people. And I've said this all week. Everybody I've talked to, delegates, just any attendee, everybody's been great. Everybody's doing it, and you got to give it to the RNC. They put on a convention.
Well, we wanted to highlight one of the interviews that one of our teammates, Julia Fellow, was able to grab while here. And so at one of the moments that we've obviously been talking about all week that changed the campaign is the fact that Saturday, which now feels like more than a week ago, but on Saturday, the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, and you've most likely seen the photo, the still image that was taken that erupted across the internet on Saturday.
Embroidered on a woman's dress on Monday.
I did.
That's how fast it went around the world.
And so that picture was uploaded, I think, almost immediately, shared almost immediately. And if you don't know what we're talking about somehow, you can text to see it now. If you text photo to our talk and text line, 855-616-1620, we'll send you the photo that we're referencing. But Julia Fellow actually got to talk to the photographer who took that photo.
I knew the second that this had started that probably the most important thing I'd ever cover, so I was just trying to do a good job, stay in the moment, keep a level head.
That's chief photographer for the Associated Press, Evan Vucci, who took the photo of former President Donald Trump moments after an assassination attempt. It shows blood streaked across the former president's face, his ear bloodied, and pumping his fist in the air with the American flag behind him. The award-winning photographer shared moment by moment how he ended up taking this photo.
President Trump walked on, and I had my long lens on, and over my left shoulder I heard several pops.
Take a look at what happened.
I knew immediately it was gunfire, so as I looked through my long lens, I saw Secret Service agents beginning to rush towards the president. I made a few frames of that, and then I ran to the stage, and I got my wide-angle lens, and I just started photographing everything I could.
Today's technology got the photo of Trump's bloodied face published within minutes.
My cameras that are plugged into an Ethernet cable, and it's going to my editors. So I'll take a few photos, and I'll hit a button to send the photos to my desk. By the time President Trump had been put into the SUV, so I had 36 photos out to my desk, and I was just happy that I did the job. You never know how people are going to react to anything that you do.
Former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson believes this photo resembles another moment in history.
And putting his arm in there and saying, fight, with blood running down, the American flag behind it, that's an iconic photo, just like Iwo Jima.
Vucci, however, believes it is up to each person to take away what they see in the photo of a former president seconds after an assassination attempt.
I can't control how people would react to anything. I was just glad that I was able to do the job.
And this award-winning photographer will be snapping more photos of former President Trump when he takes the stage tonight in Milwaukee. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
That was fascinating.
It was fascinating. As far as, especially the fact that he didn't even know that it was already going viral.
Yeah, that's I'm old enough to remember when you would have to take film into a dark room and develop it, and it would take forever, and now he's got to connect it.
You wouldn't see it until the next day. It was printed in the newspaper.
Instantly, it's like, oh, we've got to send this out already.
Yeah.
So that was great. Thank you to Julia for doing that report. We have a special guest coming up after this.
We do. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley will be with us with his big takeaways so far for 3 out of the 4 days. So he will join us after this. It's Spanning the State.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at kesslersdiamonds.com.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Got an old boat, a new boat in between. Kendor Marine, upholstery and parts, hard to find things. Kendor Marine. Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Everything you need but the water. Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Like a boat-loving kid in a candy store. Kendor Marine. If you have a question, we have the expertise at Kendor Marine. Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
Easy to find at 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin or at KendorMarine.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exteriors' expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
It's Spanning the State live from the Republican National Convention on Media Row in UW Panther Arena. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bryan. Sitting to my left is Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, one of the big proponents. Proponents? No.
Proponents?
No, I don't think you're a proponent. I don't
Propeller?
think someone who was very adamant and excited that the RNC was coming to Milwaukee. It's been a long 4 days, so my words escape me at the moment. But how are you? This is the first time you've been on this show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Welcome.
Thank you. I hope you're doing all right.
We're doing great. I mean, Brian said earlier he's at about above 50 as far as energy levels.
Okay.
I think we'll say 65, 75. It's a lot of adrenaline and coffee right now. I will say that.
How about you? You've been here all week. I've seen you upstairs, downstairs. I've seen you in different buildings talking to people. Where's your energy level at this point?
You know what? I have no clue. I may be running on fumes just like everybody else, but honestly, there's a level of excitement, right?
Yes.
I mean, as a Democrat, me being here, the excitement comes from the fact that we have an opportunity to really showcase our entire community, right? And I know, but fun fact, I was in Florida over the weekend, so I was coming back home from Tampa. And I'm on the plane. The first thing was like, "Wow, all these people come to Milwaukee." Then I remember we were hosting this.
Oh, you had forgotten for a second.
And just on the plane, people had no clue that we had the level of lakefront views. When they seen our nightlife, seen our restaurants, tried the cheese curds for the first time, they fall in love with Milwaukee. But also on the flip side of that, we've had a great opportunity to see all these folks come in. patronize many businesses. I know many businesses haven't been seeing so much foot traffic, so we're trying to figure out ways to get those folks through those doors. But at the end of the day, this is an investment. This wasn't just about this particular week. I look at this as our Super Bowl. This is our championship run, like the Bucs run, right? To where we have all these eyeballs across the world looking at Milwaukee. And so in the future, we can show folks like the NBA that we have the ability to handle an all-star game, that we can handle, wink, wink, an NFL draft. So, those are the things that we have an opportunity to do, and that's what we're taking advantage of.
So we were talking to Allison Prangy earlier in the show, and what was it like as far as, I know in the campaigning to get the RNC to Milwaukee, you and Mayor Johnson were out there a lot. Mm-hmm. Once it was secured and was coming, how much involvement did the county, I'll say for the county because instead of speaking for the city, did the county have versus the committee was just going to do what the committee was going to do?
We don't have no involvement.
Okay,
really.
all right.
Like,
yeah.
People say, well, what are you going to do? What they tell me to do, because, the Office of Emergency Management, we're at the table. So our Office of Emergency Management handles a lot of the communication. So when you think about communication radios that all law enforcement has, for traffic mitigation, for crowd control, for X, Y, Z, whatever they need, we do that through the Office of Emergency Management. And so really, when you think about this production, because this is a production, right? The Secret Service is pretty much in charge of all safety precautions and protocols, and so we have to follow their lead on anything that they want to do.
When you're out and about now, are you getting feedback from people around the county? What are they saying to you? What's the overall vibe? I know people who are coming into Milwaukee are over the moon. What about the people who live here?
I think you get mixed results, right? I mean, because we are a Democratic community hosting the RNC, so there are a lot of people who are just like vacant and cannot wait for them to leave, but they also recognize the opportunity, right? This is an economic boom, and what's interesting is that not just for Milwaukee, Racine, Waukesha, Ozaukee, Washington, Sheboygan, they're all seeing the economic benefits of this as well, and so there are a lot of folks who absolutely adore the fact that we are hosting something of this size right here. I would tell you, particularly the first day, nobody liked the traffic.
Yes.
and the traffic was a little crazy, but this is a learning experience. We have been, the mayor and I, we've been building this plane as we fly it. And I know that he has been a lot more immersed into this when you think about all the other city services that he's in charge of that's involved in this. But at the end of the day, this gives us an opportunity to go back and really look at how do we move forward, how do we bring other conventions here, and what do we learn from hosting this huge event.
So one of the big, I feel like people haven't talked about it as much this week, but last year, obviously, one of the biggest pieces of news for the city and the county is the sales tax.
Yes.
Again, not everyone was a fan, but it happened.
Yes.
Do you have any estimates as far as for the county, what money and revenue the county will get from this week?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't know exactly. I don't expect to be huge gains when it comes down to the Republican National Convention. Again, this is the first event, and I know when you think about these types of events, right? There's so much free food, free booze. A lot of people.
But someone's paying for that at one point, right? Just because we're not paying for it. I got a free coffee somewhere in the last couple of days.
So we do expect to see some gains from this, but I don't think it's going to be over the moon to where we're like, come back here in 4 years because we made so much money. So I don't see that necessarily.
Would you want it if the DNC came back? I was like, all right, we screwed it up in 2020. Could we come back? Do you want to do this again in 4 years?
I think that we need a little break. But I will say that no matter what it is, no matter what convention, no matter what event it is, I think that we are ready to play on the large scale.
What do you think the problem was perception-wise before? Because obviously Milwaukee has put on their best face. Everything seems to be going well. What do you think the perception was that was making people hesitant to bring events like this to Milwaukee?
Well, I mean, all across this state, Democratic, Republican leaders, they've always used Milwaukee as the lightning rod, and conservatives all across the country, knowing that Milwaukee is a Democratic city in the state of Wisconsin, they continue to just talk about it so bad that folks just say, "Ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna go." I mean, the reports of Trump calling this a horrible city, and I think we've proven him wrong, right? I think that so many people came here and said, "I had no clue." First and foremost, that it gets 90 degrees. Right? It's the first day it was 90 degrees. breeze. And then folks see that I like to call Fresh Coast nice that we brought to the table with our hospitality. When they see our foodie scene, the restaurants, because no matter where you come in the world, quite frankly, we have something to offer you. And so it's just a great opportunity.
Absolutely. All right. Well, County Executive, thank you so much. David Crowley, we were happy to have you on the show whenever you'd like.
I won't. I will make sure that my team knows that I need to be back soon.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Well, I know you have some more rounds to go make, so
yes.
We will release you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Citing Unlimited News Time 151, it's spanning the state.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Let's talk a couple minutes about your grilling methods.
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
Okay, so you have to understand, preface this, that I'm really a sausage snob.
Okay, well, you should be. Well, you've earned that right.
Right, so I don't want to offend anybody.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperFiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft in Hartford is hiring servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. A great summer job for high school and college students. You'll make great cash. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawn's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service, we delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a second,
Ryan.
Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Rich Lawns.
We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing all your I gotta do this because today's the weekend whatevers? Well, Potawatomi wants your Saturdays to be the most rewarding ever with a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play this July for prize drawing entries. Win on Saturdays. Plus, each Potawatomi rewards level gets their own drawing. Rewarding Saturdays at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/rewarding. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
First hour of the final broadcast here at the Republican National Convention is almost in the books. It's been fun on Media Row. This is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry. And I had, I don't think I've talked about it on the show yet, but I got to talk to former Governor Tommy Thompson.
How'd that go?
Well, it's funny because, as I've established before, right, for most of my adult life, I lived elsewhere.
Right.
I left in 2003 to move to California, moved back in 2020. But when I was a kid, my dad actually worked on Tommy's, one of his campaigns. Maybe more than one, but at least one of his campaigns.
Okay.
And I had never actually never met Tommy Thompson in person before. You know, I knew that he was gregarious and charming and kind of this aura of who he is and how he knows everyone's name and everything. And so he's upstairs in Wisconsin Media Row, and I kind of wait my turn. He's talking to a different reporter to shake his hand, and I started with, do you remember the name Peter Bry? And he did.
Very good.
And he did, and so we're talking, and then he slips in, I never thought Peter Bry would have a daughter so beautiful. And it just totally caught me off guard. And then I come to find out that he's known for his compliments of the ladies. Yes.
That's well.
So I'm not special.
A smooth talker. Take the compliment when you can. After the news, of course, it is time for us to spin the state and so much more in the second hour of Spanning the State.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Moving Grave's headquarters to downtown Milwaukee was the right decision for the future of our company. Hi, I'm John Kissinger, President and CEO of Grave, a full-service engineering, planning, and design firm. We wanted to be part of downtown's vibrancy. Our goal was to create a collaborative and innovative work environment that would attract the next generation of talent. I love working downtown, and so do my employees. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house was looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Michael Quizon is the IT systems administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
We have 71 degrees in Milwaukee. It's going to be clear and cool tonight with a low 61. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Highlight of the Republican National Convention happens tonight. The keynote addressed by the nominee, Donald Trump.
The former president is said to have torn up and then rewritten the speech he had prepared before Saturday's attempt on his life. Donald Trump's supporters wonder about the tone he'll strike.
I don't know what he's going to do, but whatever he will do, it will be right.
Barbara Wiley of Arizona is willing to guess at the content.
We're on the right track. We can't give up, and we got to work hard.
Jim Ryan, ABC News at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Ahead of the headliner, what can we expect to hear from Fiserv Forum?
Speeches will kick off on stage tonight with former Trump administration director of the CIA, Mike Pompeo. Perhaps the highlight of the evening, a surprise appearance by WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Hulk Hogan. There will be one Wisconsin connection on stage this evening. Diane Hendricks, a Wisconsin native described by the campaign as a, quote, everyday American. UFC CEO Dana White will be the final speaker before Donald Trump takes the stage late this evening. On the floor at Fiserv Forum, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The four-day convention so far has been largely uneventful in terms of security or injury, thanks to the efforts of first responders who are also covering the community.
They're protected this way because they are pivotal to forward momentum.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells Wisconsin's Midday News the foundation for the RNC was laid in 2020, and they've put it to use this week.
We're physically distributed so that people have the shortest distance to get to us, but also that communication link is key.
And they've stayed true to their responsibility to the community.
I'm proud to say that this has been done with zero drawdown of resources for the rest of the city of Milwaukee.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
The security perimeter is expected to be taken down overnight, with most visiting the city headed out of town and back home. Democrats getting more nervous about President Biden's campaign by the day. Washington Post reports former President Obama told his allies Biden needs to seriously consider the viability of his candidacy. The Post says Obama has been taking calls from worried Democrats, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Meanwhile, Axios reports Biden may be persuaded by Democratic Party leaders and close friends to drop out of the race by the weekend. 3 people dead after severe weather slammed the Midwest and East Coast Wednesday. One person died in New York, about 25 miles east of Syracuse. 2 others killed in Illinois after a flood carried their car away. A cold front moving into the East Coast could create more severe thunderstorms and heavy rain through the rest of the week. FDA says people who don't smoke should not begin vaping, but the agency is allowing sales of one of the most popular vaping products to continue.
The FDA did not give its approval or its endorsement, but it did allow the best-selling e-cigarette in the U.S. to remain on the market. Vuse Alto sales can continue, but only the tobacco-flavored version. Manufacturer Reynolds American's challenging the FDA's rejection of its menthol product. Vuse accounted for 40% of all U.S. vaping sales last year, most for menthol products, which are still available pending that court's decision. Brian Clark, ABC News.
A Federal Reserve governor says it's getting closer to cutting interest rates. Christopher Waller hinted the Fed expects a rare soft landing of the economy unless there are any major changes in inflation and employment numbers. He said, I do believe we are getting closer to the time when a cut in the policy rate is warranted. Time for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 450 points this hour, 40,747. S&P 500 is down 43. The NASDAQ Composite is down 145. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:04.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wholesale mulch? No problem. We deliver to residential or wholesale accounts, and we can supply you with whatever volume of the highest quality mulch you need. Nobody around here has more mulch than Erickson's. We'll deliver you a 1-yard pickup truck load all the way up to 100 yards in a walking floor trailer. And if you just need a little bit, swing by and we'll fill up a 5-gallon bucket or 2. It's the best mulch you'll find. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our decorative stone is available by the handful for pickup, all the way up to 24-ton load deliveries. And our stone is superlative. We scour the countryside, countrywide, from Arizona to the Carolinas. We search pretty much the whole U.S. of A. to find you easily the best stone selection in southeastern Wisconsin. See a rainbow of decorative stone colors to match any exterior decor. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers returned to the practice field yesterday. Rookies reported to Nitschke Field for the official start of training camp. Veterans report on Sunday. Brewers began the second half of their season Saturday night. Team squares off against the Twins for the first of 2 games at Target Field. And the Bucks take on the Suns as the NBA Summer League continues from Las Vegas. Milwaukee coming off a big loss to the Clippers. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No major delays to report, just a little bit of slowing in the construction zone. I-894 westbound, Mitchell interchange to the Hale interchange, but no other major delays on the freeways. Again, reminder of the perimeter delays in the RNC convention area downtown. Some delays and some detours in that area if you are headed downtown.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's the WTMJ 5-day forecast. It's going to be clear and cool overnight with a low of 61, sunny and 80 tomorrow. Saturday, partly cloudy, a little bit warmer with a high of 83. Sunday and Monday, a slight chance of showers both days. Partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 81. Monday's high 82. Madison checking in at 73, 75 in Green Bay, and 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:08.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
It's after 2. That means it's time for us to spin the state. Are we really spinning a wheel, or is it all in your mind? You'll have to figure it out for yourself. But we go all over the state to find stories you might have missed. If you want to get more details, you can always text SPIN, S-P-I-N, to 855-616-1620. That is the WTMJ Talk and Text line. I'm going to say it, Kristen. Let's spin the wheel.
Spin that. Yep, there we go.
Madison.
All right. If you need to go to a hospital, try to make it one at the University of Wisconsin Hospitals, because U.S. News and World Report ranked the UW hospitals as #1 in Wisconsin on its best hospital list. UW Health CEO Dr. Alan Kaplan said the recognition reinforces the long-standing reputation for outstanding patient care, innovative therapies, and exceptional patient outcomes at UW Health. The UW hospitals also received the highest ratings for 18 procedures and conditions impacting people over 65, and UW hospitals also offer services that are not always available at other hospitals, which contributed to the high ranking. So I wonder if Frederick and Mayo have what they have to say about that. I don't know if
there's
hospitals have inner competition of oh, we just missed it.
Oh, there's been calls back and forth among the heads of the hospitals talking garbage.
Very
to each
disappointed
other.
with our ranking.
Oh, how do you guys? Who'd you pay off to get that high rating? All right, shall we spin again? Yes.
Milwaukee.
Well, it's been the hotbed of the RNC. A lot of important issues and stories have been coming out of this week's convention, but none hit harder in Brew City than the discussion of one local beer, Spotted Cow. Of course, that is a popular and delicious beer brewed by New Glarus. It made news the other day when a political reporter asked Senator Ron Johnson about the beer, and he said it was, quote,
pretty good, but that the owner was ultra-liberal. Then the journalist Robert Evans said his takeaway was that Spotted Cow is an excellent beer, shocked at how good it is, end quote. Now the Journal-Sentinel took to the streets and asked RNC visitors their opinion on the beer, which is the best-selling beer made by New Glarus. It accounts for 30% of the brewery's production last year. The verdict? People loved it. A visitor from Connecticut said it was unbelievable, delicious. Terry, an RNC attendee from Alabama, said it's in his top 10 favorite beers. He said, I love it. That sounds a tad better than pretty good, doesn't it, Senator Johnson? Yes, it does.
All right, let's spin it one more time.
De Pere.
De Pere, all right. If you visit De Pere this summer, don't worry, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. There really is a giant yellow dome outside the Mulva Cultural Center. Yes, the brightly colored geodesic dome isn't a copy of the Las Vegas Sphere. It is a sculpture titled Curious Planet. It was created by Danish-Icelandic artist Olafur Eliasson.
Very nice.
The sculpture is being installed now and expected to be on view by late August. The piece is a globe of 4 layers of progressively more complex geometrical forms that expand exponentially from the core. I'm
glad you had to read that sentence.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine how this actually looks, too. The layers are connected by bronze crossbars, and circular panes of blue glass float inside the structure. So there's also irregular hexagonal fading mirrors forming some of the faces on the outermost layer. Sounds very trippy.
It does.
And so I'm assuming that there is a picture of this if people text spin.
There is. If they text spin, you will see it. It is right now. It is a giant yellow dome.
It's just giant
as
yellow
described.
So it will be revealed once it is done. This is not what the
I think that's a cover, but then you will go in it and it sounds
look
crazy.
Around. All right.
Yeah, enjoy it. So yes, you can text SPIN SPIN to 855-616-1620. When we come back, we are going to talk to Peggy Williams-Smith, President and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, to find out what she thinks of this week at the RNC. It's spanning the state.
Miss any of the truth on WTMJ?
I'm representing the bull.
Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and catch up on moments like this.
Shout out to all the nurses in Wisconsin and within the sound of my voice. Whether you can hear me or not, you do great work, and it's to be appreciated.
And listen to the truth on WTMJ every Sunday from 7 until 9 with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas, right here on 620 WTMJ.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better, and that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Oh, you're going to do it.
Well, yeah, I was going to let you introduce Peggy. It's spanning the state. You know where we're at. Media Row at RNC. And I'm Brian Nooner.
And I am Kristen Bry, and we are sitting here with Peggy Williams-Smith, CEO and President of Visit Milwaukee, as we do our wrap I guess it's not really a wrap because there's still like half a day. A lot of stuff's going to happen tonight.
A lot of stuff going to happen
But
today.
it's the last day. We're here. Peggy, how are you feeling?
You know, it has been just overwhelming. It's been overwhelming to watch what's happened, to see it come to fruition. I actually just walked here with a guy who he wouldn't tell me his name because he does all the social media for President Trump.
Oh.
But he was looking for something, and he kept asking people. I'm like, follow me. I know where you're going to go. So he was following me, and he was saying how amazing the city has been, how friendly everyone has been. He's in contact with the family. The family is having a great time. So, you know, it's been amazing. Yeah.
What do you think the biggest takeaway, people, other than the friendliness, which we've heard, too, from everybody we've talked to, when people leave Milwaukee now, what do you think they're going to take with them that will entice them to come back?
So much. 1,400 acres of beachfront. We have amazing culinary scene. Yes, someone has sold over 3,000 pounds of cheese this week, but that's not the only thing we have. They've been able to experience different restaurants, different places, different hotels. And throughout the state, not just here. They've been all over. So I think what we've heard the most is we didn't get as much of a chance to get out as we'd like to. I think that everyone wanted to be on the convention show floor because of what happened last Saturday, which is a little different than previous conventions.
Okay.
So a lot of them are like, we're coming back. Some of them said we're going to extend our stay and stay through the weekend. Which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting, because I think for a lot of us, this is our first convention. I think even to a lot of people I've talked to that are delegates or guests that are here, this is their first conference or convention. And that's an interesting point. So you've had feedback so far that how much people are in the FISERV is not typical of other conventions, because I have noticed even inside the security zone, people are over by FISERV a lot more than they are in and around Baird, in Panther Arena, and so that's atypical?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, this is my first convention as well, but what I've heard is, and I don't remember in my time watching conventions on TV that there was a time when the president or presidential nominee has been in the arena the entire week.
Yeah.
And I think that that's different, and I think that the respect that they want to give to their candidate means that they're going to be in the arena. On Monday, it was really unusual because they didn't break, and everyone kept saying that Trump was going to come and announce his vice presidential nominee. He didn't end up coming until that night, but no one had seen him since the assassination attempt. Right. So it was just everyone waiting in anticipation for him to come. So I think that is a little bit different. But I do think, when the convention show floor lets out, I've walked the street every night after the opening party, every night, and it's been packed. Everyone files out into bars, into restaurants, or at parties, and there are so many private parties. So many private parties.
The only negative, because everything seems to be going very smoothly, the only negative that people are hearing is from some of the businesses outside the zone, that they anticipated more income, more business, crowds. What do you say to them?
I wish we do conventions all the time.
Sure.
And we can't mandate where attendees go. That's just not something we can do. We couldn't do that with this convention either. A lot of it is marketing yourself to the attendees. I think Major Goolsby's is doing a fabulous job. I know it's right here, but they've got someone outside as people are leaving the FISERV forum saying, come on in, we've got specials, we've got this. You need to market yourself just like you do for any other convention. We send out convention alerts. I got one today for I think for Harley Davidson, 100,000 people coming into the city. Are they going to talk to every news outlet for the entire week saying I didn't get the business I thought I was going to see because the homecoming people didn't come to my restaurant? No. So, we knew this was going to be huge economic impact. We knew not everyone was going to be busy. We knew that people would be on the convention floor from 5:45 to 10.
Right.
We said that every time we could, and that you need to market yourself. So, I think that I'm sad that people aren't. You can get in and out of the third ward really easily. Yeah. So, locals should come down and support the locally owned businesses.
So as far as beyond that, as far as who got business, who didn't get business, looking forward, what are some of the bigger lessons or takeaways from this week for Visit Milwaukee, or is it still too early to tell?
Well, I know that we've already, we were able to see some of the events that are taking place around the convention that aren't necessarily in part of the convention. And we've already had sales leads out of this.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we've had people who've said, I didn't realize your convention center was that big. Well, it wasn't until 3 months ago. But we can bring our meeting here. So we have 2 RFPs, which is amazing because we spend money to go to trade shows. We're actually missing one this week. This is the only one we're missing throughout the entire time of the RNC. But we know that people are interested in bringing their meetings here, and that's great. We know that our hotels have been full. We know that our hotels have had people in and out of them. We'll start to get that information next week to see what the STAR report looks like, so we can start to begin to measure the economic impact. And then we're going to work in conjunction with the host committee to do a full economic impact study that should be out within the next, say, 90 days.
Great.
And Peggy, I don't know if you can answer this, but people who are waiting, maybe they worked from home if they were downtown. People, when will things be quote unquote back to normal? When can people come back? By Monday, if people are driving in to go to work, we'll be ready to go.
No, this weekend.
This weekend.
This
Nice.
weekend. No, like the minute the VP and the presidential nominees leave, everything goes up.
Wow.
Everything
Okay.
goes up. So I would do not stay away this weekend.
Come on
downtown. I mean, it's going to be busy because Northwestern Mutual has their annual convention, and that starts on Saturday.
That starts Saturday. There's Brady Fest this weekend, and then the following weekend is the big, crazy Milwaukee weekend when there's German Fest, there's the Harley Davidson Homecoming, there's River West 24,
Air and Water Show.
Yeah, so there's still a lot going on. And so my final question before we let you go, because I know you have to go kick off Convention Fest. 2024, Visit Milwaukee, Top Chef, RNC. How do you top that for 2025?
Well, I mean, we are doing a lot of industry events. So there are things that you may not see, but that we know put us on a stage with the people who are going to book business here.
Nice.
So that's really good. This was really overall, we want that convention business, but this was a way for people to see. I mean, every time you're watching anything on TV, you're seeing Milwaukee. They're showing our skyline. They're showing the drone shot in. All of that is money that we would never be able to spend. So we have just marketed ourselves to the entire world for the last 5 days.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, thanks very much for taking time, Peggy.
Great.
I know it's very busy for you. Now you can go kick off Convention Fest. We appreciate it. Peggy Williams-Smith is the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. We will talk to you again, I'm sure.
Thank you.
It's spanning the state.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee, and we'll be broadcasting live from the middle of it all right here on WTMJ all week long. Catch our regular WTMJ programming, as well as special programming, live from Media Row inside the RNC. Decision Wisconsin is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for everything RNC. News Radio WTMJ.
This is Brad Youngbooth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. We have 2 big humps in this business, right before summer and right after fall. And for us, that's when the lines are the longest. Folks usually choose to do their exterior work during those times, and what I'm trying to do here with this message is level out the flow of business so that we don't have to disappoint anyone come November and December because they were hoping to get their work done before the snow flies. I understand where the focus is during summer, but you know what? It really is a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows, because that's when the lines are the shortest, and it's the one time that we're pretty sure we're not going to get any snow. So if you're looking to get your work done, why put it off? The lines are shorter and we'll be ready. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hey, restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. So don't even think about turning that oven on today. Enjoy a free pizza at the Mine Chef. Buy one pizza, get one free. Buy 5, get 5 free pizzas. Any size, any quantity. Hey, coaches, bring in your soccer and baseball team today for free pizza. Your players will love that huge game room. It's super affordable. Team bonding, it's great stuff. Bring in pizza today for your hardworking employees. Order now, pick up your free pizza shortly. They're going to appreciate you. Don't cook, take your family to the cool and comfortable Mine Shaft for free pizza. The Mine Shaft, it's right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Buy one pizza today. get one free. Just walk on in. It's big food. It's big fun. It's big value. And the Friday fish fry is all you can eat, just $6.99. Wow. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
For all the things you need a Runnings bucket for, here's one more. The annual bucket sale gives you 15% off everything you can fit inside, even sale-priced items. Remember, the bucket is free with a $5 purchase. The bucket sale is happening at all Running stores Friday and Saturday, July 19th and 20th. Shop in-store and fill your bucket with items including clothing, pet supplies, sporting goods, lawn and garden, tools, and more. Some exclusions apply. The bucket sale at Runnings, now with 80 locations. Go to Runnings.com to find the store in your community.
It is spanning the state. We are still live, still at the RNC, at the UWM Panther Arena on Media Row. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Big news, Kristen. Kid Rock has arrived in Milwaukee. He has landed. He will soon be on site, and we have that.
Well, now
just
I
for the
my
record,
joke that
Kid Rock was not my goal that I mentioned at the
Kid Rock was
beginning
not
of
your
the show.
goal.
No.
I had, so I had said earlier in the week how we pulled one of my videos.
Yes.
And one of the jokes, as far as Vegas odds of stuff that will or will not happen, was, will one of the delegates have a meltdown when they realize the Fiserv serves Bud Light? Because that was a big deal 2 years ago in 2022 when.
Kid
the
Rock
Bucks
shot
decided.
through
That was after.
Bucks
so the Bucks decided not to re-sign with Miller,
right?
The hometown brew,
which is
and
crazy.
it's largely because the Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch had they decided to meet what they were asking for.
Yeah.
So business is business, but people were appalled that they would have Bud Light in the
God forbid.
Fiserv, and then obviously 2023 happened for Bud Light, and
Right.
it imploded for.
It made Kid Rock very upset.
Made Kid Rock very upset. So we'll find out if Kid Rock has a Bud Light at Fiserv.
I'm going to be carrying one around with me for the rest of the day, hopefully to offer Kid Rock a Bud Light. I hear he's changed. I don't know why I hear this.
Changed from what?
That he's not. He'll drink Bud Light now.
Oh,
okay. Sure he will. Because, if they're going to pay him, he'll drink whatever. He's Kid Rock. I'm upset that Big Joe is not with him anymore. R.I.P. Pour one out for Big Joe. So he will not be traveling with Kid Rock today. You look honestly shocked that I had any deeper Kid Rock reference.
I'm impressed.
Dopey.
Speaking of how many wrestling references can you make as far as a special guest who will be here tonight?
I hope all right, you've blown it. That's the goal. The goal is today to get is for me to get Hulk Hogan. I wanted Hulkamania to run wild on Spanning the State. That's been the goal. I have our own Eric Bilstead is out beating the weeds for me, trying to get us Hulk Hogan, because I thought if he came in, he would just lift you over his head, and that would be a great shot.
You think he still can?
Yeah.
Is he like one of those?
Well, first of all,
he's got to be in his 60s or 70s, like 60s.
Yeah, but he's still all pumped up.
All
Plus,
right.
you're not weighing in at $3 bills. He can jump over his head. I think that'll be fine. But so Eric is out looking for Hulkamania. He's going to come in, brother. We're going to say our prayers, take our vitamins, and just be good little Hulkamaniacs. But I don't think that's my hunt. I don't care. Listen, if I see Donald Trump tonight, that's fantastic. I bump into one of the kids, terrific. If I see Hulk Hogan, it's going to. I'm going to go nuts.
Week made.
Yeah, it's I could probably resign, but so that's the goal for the day.
Were you a wrestling fan?
Back when I was younger, yeah,
okay.
I really liked wrestling.
Who were your guys?
Well, it was that era. It was when Hulk was a good guy in the WWE.
Not the heel?
Yeah, but he was still a babyface then. So like when he wrestled Andre the Giant and the Ultimate Warrior, that was my period. Like I always knew it was scripted. I was never one of those.
You liked the show.
I liked the show, and the athleticism can't be denied. Neither can ABC News or local headlines. They're coming up next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Divisions within the Democratic Party playing out publicly and privately over Joe Biden's re-election bid. Calls growing for him to drop out of the race to keep Democrats from losing both the top ticket and down ballot races. The president recovering from COVID at his Delaware home.
A source familiar with Obama's thinking tells ABC the former president continues to see his primary role as a sounding board and counselor for President Biden, as they've long done for each other for many years. This source goes on to say Obama believes Biden has been an outstanding president and is, quote, protective of him both personally and of the Biden administration's strong and historic accomplishments.
ABC's Karen Travers. Republicans are gearing up to take a victory lap at the party's national convention in Milwaukee. Donald Trump tonight will deliver his acceptance speech. Mortgage rates dropped to the lowest level since March. Freddie Mac showing the average 30-year mortgage is now at 6.77%. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:31, I'm Connie Weber. At his daily press conference, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says through the first 3 days of the RNC, the city has shown its ability to handle major events.
It's been a pretty remarkable week, and I think it's fair to say that Milwaukee has shown our visitors that the city is full of great assets and also great people.
Among the 50,000 people here in the city for the convention, 15,000 journalists. Lydia Heredia from TV3 in Spain tells WTMJ American politics are followed closely by people in our home country.
The whole world depends on what happened here, so for us it's a interesting and an important topic to follow. What we try to explain also from here, from Milwaukee, is what is a swing state, no? Because this is also a different political system back in Spain.
A delegation from Guam has its place on the floor between Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
On a map, Guam is positioned just north of Australia and east of the Philippines, some 7,300 miles away from Milwaukee.
We're the Miami of Japan and Korea. We're a tropical paradise weather, most stable weather in the world, around 82 to 86 degrees. Yeah. We get 1.6 to 1.9 million tourists a year. Wedding destination, family-oriented. The food is outstanding.
Juan Carlos Benitez is one of Guam's delegates, and he's loving his time in Wisconsin.
The state is beautiful.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Guam has 6 delegates and 9 alternates represented in Wisconsin this week. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow sharply lower today, down 567 points this hour. 40,630. S&P 500 off 57 at 5,530. And the NASDAQ Composite down 196 at 17,800. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with the fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. A new crash, I-41 US 45 South at North Avenue West. It is off right, but there may be some slowing in that area. Again, I-41 US 45 South. No other major delays to report, just the usual in the construction zones. I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown, and I-894 Mitchell Interchange to the Hale Interchange. Here's the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny today. A few clouds continuing this afternoon. A high 76, and then clear and cool tonight with a low 61. Mostly sunny and 80 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, warmer on Saturday, 83 for the high. Sunday and Monday, a slight chance of showers both days. Partly cloudy and humid both days. Sunday's high 81, Monday up to 82. 73 in Madison, 75 in Green Bay, and 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:34.
3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at WisCaregiverCDCP.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
If you are into politics, we are definitely in the fast lane. It is spanning the state. We are at the RNC live in UW Panther Arena on Media Row. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And of course, for all of the pomp and circumstance and the spectacle and the event of this, and as we talk about the economic impact of this, there is also, all of this week is also leading to an election that is happening in November, an election that...
Oh, so there's a point to this party?
There is a point to this, and if you don't know, Wisconsin's usually pretty important in these things called elections. The presidential election and the Electoral College runs through Wisconsin. We have a Senate race that is very tight right now. The 3rd Congressional District with Derek Van Orden is going to be a tight race. And also, for the first time in 12 years, the Wisconsin legislature, especially the Assembly, could be up for grabs. And so there is a lot at stake as far as how this week is impacting the election this fall, and no better person to talk about all of that with than Barry Burden, professor of political science at UW-Madison and founding director of the Elections Research Center. Welcome to the show, Barry.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
We ran into each other on Monday, and I didn't know that you were going to be here, and so I'm happy that by the end of the week we got you on, because truly you were probably the best person to talk to is what this week means for November.
Right.
For Wisconsin.
The convention was placed in Wisconsin because they want to have an impact on Wisconsin, and the Dems tried to do this 4 years ago. I've been surprised how little attention there has been given to Wisconsin in the speeches each night. I mean, those could happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? You know, the audience is the nation, not what's happening here. But I think there's going to be a big impact here. I mean, Biden and the Democrats are in serious trouble at the moment.
It's not been a good month.
It's been rough, sort of culminating in the COVID diagnosis last night. Republicans are euphoric. They are united. They've got their act together. They have a leader that they are 100% behind.
Yep.
I've not seen this kind of unity. It's before at a convention. It's not really much of a party. It's really a Trump organization that is functioning really smoothly at the moment and has everything going for it. Now, there's 3 or 4 months left until Election Day. There'll probably be another debate. We've got a Democratic convention to go to. We've got Olympics in Paris in between. So things will happen. But I think, you know, the way it affects Wisconsin most is probably the U.S. Senate race. Besides, obviously, the presidential race. We're a battleground and will be one of the contributing states to the Electoral College outcome. Biden's in real trouble in Wisconsin at the moment.
Well, let's go to that Senate race.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned it, what do you think the impact is going to be? We've seen Eric Hovde around here. He's working the room. He's working the buildings.
He spoke on Tuesday. I saw him. He spoke on Tuesday.
Sure did.
Yeah. So, how do you think that helps him? How do you think that race will be affected?
So Hovde's doing his introduction basically to Republicans around the country, and I think that will help his fundraising.
Yeah.
That's why that's a real benefit of being in this network for these days. I think it will cause Tammy Baldwin to run even more of an independent campaign. She has always done that. She has her own operation. She's a very effective Democratic candidate, maybe the best Democratic candidate in Wisconsin. She has a kind of special sauce that other Democrats have tried to learn from and emulate, and I think the troubles that Biden is having at the top of the ticket give her more incentive to just run her own race.
To not show up when he comes to town.
She doesn't need to be there with him. She needs to go into rural communities where she has overperformed other Democrats, continue to do that, continue to raise money, and just her sort of careful, methodical approach to building an election machine she's so good at. So I think it's an extra incentive for her to just continue to do her own thing.
Because do you think there'll be a spike in the next round of polling for Hovde after this week?
Well, certainly for Trump in Wisconsin, and if she's lucky, she can insulate herself from it moving down the ballot. But Hovde is now better known. He's going to get an influx of cash, I think, from the connections he's making here. You know, he's not been on the air a lot. I think he's an unknown quantity to a lot of voters in Wisconsin. So we've got time for that race to mature over the next few weeks. But I think she's going to double down on the strategy of her being the Baldwin campaign. It's not going to be a unified Democratic, integrated campaign, I think, up and down the ballot as long as there's turmoil at the top.
What do you think the impact of J.D. Vance's pick is going to have on Wisconsin voters? Do you think they'll see this as cementing that platform, or does it take away a little bit?
Well, we will see Vance in Wisconsin, that's for sure. I think it helps cement the connection between Trump and rural white voters.
Okay.
Right, the story that J.D. Vance can tell about his upbringing in rural Ohio and Kentucky, he can go into those rural communities and do smaller events. Trump can't do Biden can't do a big event, and Trump can't do a small event. Trump has to have 1,000 people minimum to appear, and Biden doesn't want 1,000 people. So very different kinds of things. But J.D. Vance can go into a gymnasium of 100 people or talk at a school or something else and bounce around to rural communities in the state, I think, really effectively. And then Trump can fly into Wausau or Racine and, do a fairgrounds kind of thing. So they've got, I think, different assets that will work well in a state like Wisconsin.
Have you been surprised with the lack of the A word this week, A word being abortion? Mm-hmm. And I was waiting to see if J.D. Vance would allude to it at all, because he is probably, arguably, one of the most anti-abortion senators. Did not mention it. No one has mentioned it. Thoughts?
It's completely absent here as an issue. It's an integral part of what Republicans believe. They want to protect the unborn, as they would say. Mm-hmm. It's been in every Republican platform as long as we can remember, and it's often decided who wins the nomination on the Republican side. A pro-choice Republican candidate could not be the nominee after about the 1970s or 1980s. So we know where Republicans stand on the issue, but they're extremely quiet about it. Even just walking the grounds here around the convention, you don't see pro-life groups. There aren't kind of religious organizations here talking about the culture of life in the way they would have during the Bush years or later. It will come back in the fall election. This is one of the assets the Democrats still have, is abortion is an energizing issue for them. And I think back on the J.D. Vance discussion, because he's taken pretty harsh positions on abortion, and Kamala Harris has been carrying the abortion issue for the Biden campaign. If she's still the vice presidential running mate and they end up in a debate together, you can be sure that she will draw a contrast on abortion, and Democrats will continue to hammer Vance on his past statements about Trump generally, but about abortion and specifically. Yeah.
Were you surprised at all, because there has been some pushback from a lot of Republicans that the platform on abortion and pro-rights was too soft? So do you see the official platform changing at all as we get closer to November?
I think the platform is locked. That was done in a very efficient process that kept most of the delegates out of the process. So they were intentional about the wording. There is this reference to the 14th Amendment, which is sort of a dog whistle to conservatives in the movement who understand that's a kind of personhood idea that might allow them to ban abortion nationally or state by state or something else. So there's sort of a wink at that movement, but without the A word being said in the same way. So I don't know. There are definitely others in the party who expect if Trump is elected president, he will nominate only pro-life justices and judges at the federal level. And he might get a couple more justices. I mean, he could be a president who after 2 terms has appointed 5, 6 justices.
It's wild.
Nothing like that in American history.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Barry, as always, your insight is very, very valuable. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, this is fun.
Thanks for being here.
Barry Burton is the professor of political science at UW-Madison and founding director of the Elections Research Center. It's spanning the state.
Hi, Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake? Or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
Indeed, indeed. It's time for us to fly. Let's fly for one last segment on the floor of the UWM Panther Arena on Media Row at the RNC. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. I've heard, and I was talking to John Mercure earlier, and he said he's covered a Super Bowl, and Media Row is kind of like this for a Super Bowl, where they just march everybody around and you kind of do this. Would you, and I think I know the answer to this, would you rather do a political media row or a sports media row?
Like host it?
No, like be here.
Like do our show.
Like do our show from.
I don't know. That's actually, I mean, I think I know, but I like sports. I don't intimately know sports, right? Like if we were doing Super Bowl, I would probably be able to recognize who's a football player or who's just because they're giants. Their bodies.
Yes.
It's like as basketball players, you're like, oh, you're 6'9", like you probably play a sport. But I wouldn't know. I don't know. This is why I'm not good at fantasy football.
Yeah.
My fantasy football team is almost always entirely run by either my husband or my best friend.
Okay.
And so I feel like I would enjoy myself. I'd know less.
Yeah.
Here I feel like I'm enjoying myself because I can contribute to the conversation.
And I wonder if it'd be different if, like, being in Wisconsin doing this
even more so is different than if we were if we flew to do this in Utah.
Right, it'd be different.
It'd be a totally different game.
Well, it's been very exciting. Do you have any big thoughts, big takeaways from the week?
I'm still working them out. I've been trying to write down my reflections as I'm having them. I think I had no idea really what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I don't mean to say that as a surprised as like, oh my God, I can have fun with Republican. But it's not that so much as the energy level. I'm an extrovert, so I like meeting people. I like being out talking to people. I like hearing other people's experiences, and so less so talking to the politicians who are making their rounds, but actually getting to talk to people who are here as delegates or guests and their experience, why they're excited to be here, why they're excited what they've done in Milwaukee. Like, those conversations fuel me. And so I think my social battery is probably a lot higher coming into the end of the week, where I'm excited to go out after we wrap our show now and talk to some more people. So in general, I'm feeling good about the job that we've done. Yeah. I'm feeling good about our show and the content that we put out and how we've covered this. So I don't know. I have probably deeper thoughts I'll get into, but I need to find the way to articulate them better.
Yes. Well, for me, it's obviously not my party. It's like going to your friend's house whose team has won the championship. And you're like, oh, I can be happy for my friends, but it's not really my thing. So I came in strictly as an observer and trying to put on a different hat. Because normally, up until this point, I've been mostly just giving my opinions on things. That's what I've done in this. I haven't been a quote-unquote journalist. So to put on that hat and try to maintain sort of a distance from the message that's being delivered while still being open enough, like you said, to talk to people, which, other than being very nervous meeting Martha Raddatz, when I was talking to everyday folks, it was great. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And we took a little grief, both of us, from people on social media going, well, how could you have fun, or how could you say this is exciting? Maybe call me a sucker if you want. This is a part of American history. This is what democracy is supposed to be. People from all over this country come together. They nominate their candidate to run for president. I may not be, supportive of this guy, but I can watch the people who are truly filled with energy and joy, and I can watch them and appreciate it. Well, I don't have to be a part of it. I can look at it and go, no matter what happens, I was here. I got to see it. I got to experience it. I got to be on the floor when delegates were coming in. I got to watch them get whipped into a frenzy just because, like anybody at the start of a concert, the excitement is up and they can't wait to see what happens. So it has been exciting. It has been fun. It's been challenging, and I agree with you about the stuff we've been doing. I look forward to walking around later today and seeing what else we can come away with.
All right, so one goal. We did not get Hulk Hogan at the end of the show. You're going to go look for him.
I'm looking for him. He'll be easy to spot.
Did you make a decision on whether or not you're going to watch Donald Trump tonight?
I will let everybody know tomorrow. I'm going to watch. I'm watching him. Will I watch him in person, or will I watch him from my recliner? That is the question.
All right. Well, I trust that the show is in good hands.
Thank you. Have a good couple days off.
Yes, I'll be back on Tuesday, but I can't wait to listen in remotely.
Why would you listen when you're off?
I don't know.
All right.
I can't let it go.
Who was here today that we should thank?
We should thank Peggy Williams-Smith from Visit Milwaukee. We should thank Allison Prengy from the host committee, Barry Burton from UW-Madison, and David Crowley.
Wow, this show was packed.
County executive.
Always go to WTMJ.com, Spanning the State page, and listen, because I know you missed some of this, and that is at your peril. All right, have a great weekend. Well, you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next. It's Spanning the State.